And while he's doing that, just so you guys know, I'm creating the list for goal setting appointments. That will hopefully go out today. Get on there as soon as you can to set your goal setting appointment with me. And we'll talk about what you want to do the rest of this year through next year. And they fill up really quick. I have sometimes slotted for Richmond, sometimes slotted for Lexington, and then sometimes slotted for Nicholasville. So I've given you guys your very own days for the different offices, so that way you can know that that you have multiple options and you don't have to drive to Lexington. Now you can always come to Lexington to or Nicholasville to do it if you want to do it sooner and the time's not open. But that is that. Let me share my screen. Let me see if I can.
Hey, Amanda, we type your email address in the chat real quick?
Where did it go? Like I just had it up. Me and technology, we are just not friends. Here it is. Nope. Yep. Okay. Here she is. So I'm going to minimize you guys so I can't see you. If you have a question or comment or something, you'll have to like unmute yourself and say, hey, Kristy, because I'm not going to be able to see you once I minimize you guys so I can see my whole screen. So today we're talking about activities management. It is the foundation of what you do as a realtor that is going to determine success versus not success. There are several types of realtors in this world. It's proactive, or two types of realtors in this world, proactive and then reactive. I can work with an agent for 5 or 6 minutes and have a conversation with them, and I can tell you if they are proactive, meaning they're out there working, trying to get business, trying to grow their business, or if they're reactive, which means waiting for business to come to them and then working the deal. So we all want to work toward the proactive, so that way you're always out there cultivating and digging up business and beating the bushes, or I think there's an old saying like beating the pavement, maybe, getting deals. So every day in Africa, a gazelle wakes up. It knows it must run faster than the fastest lion or it will be killed. Every morning, a lion wakes up and it knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. It doesn't matter whether you are the lion or the gazelle, when the sun comes up, you better be running. And this is just saying that if you've been in the business essentially for a really long time and you want to, outdo your previous year or your previous month, you wake up running. If you're brand new in the business, you better wake up ready to go. I said something to an agent a long time ago, and I didn't realize the impact that I had made on her. But she mentioned it months later, and I thought, wow, I was really smart in that 30 seconds. She called me and she was freaking out because she had a closing that afternoon and she was in gym clothes and her hair was in a ponytail. Yes, it was a female. Her hair was in a ponytail and she had a ball cap on, and she said, I didn't know this was going to close today. I am so embarrassed that I have to go to this closing in the clothes that I have on because I didn't know it was going to happen. And I looked at her and I said, you know what? I said, I've been there before. I said, but what I started doing was every morning I just get ready. I get ready to get ready. I know that real estate is a business that you never know what you're going to be doing. You might wake up at 9 a.m. with a fully packed day. And then by 2 p.m., your day is unraveled and nothing is happening. You may wake up at 9 a.m. and not have a single solitary thing going on. But by noon or 1 o'clock, your whole day is full. And if you don't get up in the morning and get yourself ready and at least fix your hair, put on your makeup, get dressed in something other than jogging clothes, which yes, are my favorite too, then you are preparing yourself for the day. I had a really rough couple days and I was alone. So that was like two things that probably didn't need to happen. And I literally stayed on the couch all day Saturday. I Grubhub food to myself. I didn't move. And the reason that I tell you that is because this morning, Monday morning, I woke up and I was like, okay, so the first thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to fix my hair. Then the second thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to go to work. So it's not just you guys and realtors, it's everybody that sometimes in the morning, what you have to do is just make that first decision to get ready to be ready, because it'll change your mindset for the whole day. I laid in bed on Saturday, or not in bed, I was on my couch. I am not fortunate enough to have a bed right now because we're remodeling, but I laid on my couch all day. So I wallowed in it, my misery or whatever it is. But get up, set your mind, and get going for the day. Truth, realizing your potential has nothing to do with how you compare to others. Don't get offended by the word average. We are not implying that you are average when compared to others in industry. We are suggesting that you may be average when compared to your potential. Are you living up to your potential? Are you living up to where you see yourself in 5, 6, 7 years down the road? And when we do goal settings, which it's cool how this and goal settings are kind of coming together, I want to know your potential. What do you think your potential is? Similarly, just enough to get by doesn't mean you do just enough to eke out a living, but instead it equates to staying inside your comfort zone and avoiding the discomfort that comes with growth and progress. The danger of comparing yourself to others is that it typically lulls you into a false sense of reality, causing complacency. You mistakenly believe that because you excel over others, you have reached your potential. In reality, reaching your potential has nothing to do with how you compare to others. So let's do this. We're going to make this a interactive session here. I'm going to open you all back up so I can see you. I'm going to give you an example of when I compared myself to others in which I could have done less or better. And if you have one, then I'm willing to listen and we can all learn from each other. When I am working out in the mornings, there's this girl, this teeny tiny girl who's never had a baby, and she is teeny tiny, and I don't even know why she goes to the gym. She's like a beanpole. And she's over here pumping iron, doing arms and pumping iron and having the best time of her life. And I'm over here slinging this like 50-pound kettlebell, cussing under my breath. No, not really. Maybe a couple words. But, and just like, oh my gosh, I worked so hard. My little bit of my story is I lost 76 pounds about 10 years ago, and I've kept it off. Every pound except like 5. So I'm over here slinging this kettlebell and I'm mad at her because I'm comparing, not mad at her, but I'm mad because she's thinner than I am. And I'm comparing myself to her. Well, my potential is totally different than hers. I started out 76 pounds in the hole when she hasn't even had a kid yet. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand where I'm comparing? So if you have something in your life, you say, oh, so-and-so's my aunt, she sold $10 million a year in real estate. I know the same people, we have the same group, and I'm only doing $3 million in real estate. Are you working toward that 10? Are you putting in the effort? Let's see. Here are some questions for you. Realizing your potential revolves around the use of hours dedicated to your career. Think of hours currently dedicated to your career. Are you getting the most out of them? Like, mentally answer these questions to yourself. Are you consistently operating at your highest and best use? Do you know what your highest and best use of time is? As a realtor, what do you think your highest and best use of time is? Anybody?
Networking, maybe talking to people, getting out there.
That's a very good use of your time. What do you think the highest and best use of your time is? The absolute platinum highest and best use of your time. What do you want to be doing every day? Girls, writing offers, right? Negotiating contracts. That is your highest, that is when you get the most bang for your buck, when you're sitting down and you're writing offers and you're negotiating contracts. So everything else is ancillary. So just remember that your highest and best use of time as a realtor is putting the pen to the paper and getting people to sign contracts. So let's be clear, regardless of the number of hours you dedicate, your goal is the same. Your potential is having or showing the capacity to become. So your capacity is the ability to receive or contain, your capacity for learning, your capacity for leads, your capacity for meetings or showing appointments or networking appointments. We only have so much time. There's two things we can promise. The sun's going to rise, the sun's going to set, and there's 24 hours in one day. What you do at those 24 hours or whatever hours you dedicate to real estate will inherently determine your capacity and your churn, your ability to produce. So the capacity of any role is limited by the amount of time invested in that role. Thus, your potential as a realtor is restricted by the number of hours you and others are willing to dedicate to your business. Notice it says you and others. So being a single agent in this business, gosh, I skip ahead. I need to stop skipping ahead because I've skipped ahead already. I already know I brought something else up. So let's be clear. Think of it this way. The capacity of a 16-ounce glass is 16 ounces. Likewise, your capacity as a real estate agent is limited to the time that you and others are willing to dedicate to your career. Since time is limited, the goal should be to get the most out of each hour dedicated to that day. Whether it's 1, 5, 10, or 24 hours, the goal is the same. Maximize your output. Maximizing your output has more to do with what you put in the glass than the capacity of the glass. With a 16-ounce glass, you can choose to fill it with water. Gold is more valuable than water, so the value of the 16 ounces is higher if you filled it with the gold instead of the water. Thus, realizing your potential is not about the number of hours, but also how you use those hours. Are we following? We following? Okay, I can see two of you, and I know Amanda and Kimberly are there listening, and I'm so excited. Hold on, I lost my place. Your glass can be full or it can be fulfilling. It's in your hands. So what this is saying is that you can fill your glass with busy work. You can fill your day with busy work, arranging your desk, going through papers, admin stuff that doesn't really do anything for you that we could hire out to someone else to do, things that aren't productive or income earning. As long as you're willing to dedicate the time, you might as well get the best possible return by being as effective and efficient as you can possibly be. Now, remember, this morning on the way here, I was like, okay, Kristy, you're going to get up, you're going to fix your hair today. That's one thing you're going to do. After you fix your hair, you're going to get in the car and you're going to drive to work. Okay, now I'm at work. On the way to work, I was going, okay, the next thing you're going to do when you get there is you're going to start working on those goal setting appointments, because those are super important to the agents to do. Okay, so you know what I mean? Like I'm trying today to make sure that every ounce of my day is full of something productive so I can get out of the little funk that I was in. Since time is our only limit, money is not the key asset in life. Time is. You can always make more money. You can always spend more money. You can always save more money. But time is the only thing we cannot affect. We can't create more of it. We can only spend it. Your daily focus should revolve around making as much money as you can with the hours you are dedicating to your career. Understanding this concept and behaving accordingly is the first step toward creating and funding the life you aspire. So if you have goals, when we do goals next week, if you have goals and you say, I want to pay off my car by the end of 2021. Well, if you sit at home and you twiddle your thumbs and you don't do anything productive to work toward that goal, then having that goal realized is slim to none. So since time is indeed your only limit in life, it should be viewed as a precious resource and never squandered. Boy, I squandered a lot of hours on Saturday. I can tell you that much. About 28 of them if I'm really counting. Time is your only limit. You've got 24 hours a day, 168 hours a week, 738 hours in a month, and 8,760 hours in 1 year. So your lifespan is however long, and that's all you have. That's it. That's all you got. Let's see. He's a little redundant, so we're going to skip a couple things. Time's our only limit. Inefficient behavior always takes more time. While many agents willingly dedicate 10 hours a day to their careers, most only benefit from 6 because they waste 40% of their day. These same agents would be better served to reduce their work days to 6 hours and be extremely deliberate in their daily activities. The cost of wasting time. You can't control time or results. You can only manage your activities. I don't have enough time is a very limited belief that is often used by overwhelmed people. Truth is, you have all the time that you're ever going to get, and every day offers you a new 24 hours. It's up to you how to use those hours, whether they're spent, which is another really nice word for like wasted, or invested. Overwhelmed people typically spend large portions of their time on irrelevant activities. They have no plan, and as a result, they waste most of their day. Since time is limited to 24 hours a day, you must invest wisely by choosing only activities that support your know, do, and have for the day. So I know that I want to get 12 showings done today. So in order to do that, I have to do these certain tasks in order to have the goal that I want at the end of the month of 4 closings. Do you see what I'm saying? I know that I need to sit down and build my education calendar out. So I do this task in order to get my CRS designation, which is the end result that I want at the end of the year. Every goal has a know, do, and have tied to it. So that way, you're able to know the steps it's going to take in order to get to those goals. Oh, shoot. Did I just totally mess up? Hold on. No. The cost of wasting time. There is always an opportunity cost associated with wasted time. So it's vital that you budget and invest your time just as you would your money. Spending time on irrelevant activities has devastating effects. So look at this. This is so interesting to me, and you might have to get really close because I know it's small. 1 hour a day wasted times 5 days a week times 48 weeks a year is 240 hours a year. 240 hours times 30 dials in 1 hour is 7,200 additional contacts that you could have made with that same hour. If you have a talk or dial conversion rate, so that's 15% of all the dials you make, you actually talk to somebody, that's 1,080 additional talks that you would have had with that same wasted hour. With that 10,080 additional conversations that you just had, and you have a 10% appointment or talk conversion rate, that's 108 additional listing appointments, the same hour. 108 times 67% conversion rate, that's additional 72 listings. And 72 times 67% sold rate, is an additional 48 transactions. If you're only selling 67% of your listings in our market, we need to talk. 48 times a average GCI, which in Lexington, it's actually, or in Central Kentucky, it's actually more, about $6,000. That's $240,000 additional income per year. And that $180,000 invested for 10 years at 10% is $2.4 million. Now, this is just an example of 1 hour a day doing something gross and painful that nobody likes, which is cold calling is his example, because it's probably the most painful thing that a realtor would ever have to do. But the investment of time, effort in, equals results out. If it is your desire to make that one of your buckets, like your lead generation buckets, we'll talk about those in goal setting, then this investment of time is getting what you want out of it, meaning a large potential transaction count. Have you had any ahas yet about wasting that 1 hour or wasting time? Y'all just a bunch of chatty ladies this morning. Chat, chat, chat. Can't keep you quiet.
Bueller.
Yeah. Escaping the overwhelmed feeling and becoming more productive is the result of moving from spontaneous and reactive to intentional and proactive. That is huge. Being reactive, I've spent probably the majority of my life working on a reactive basis. And I can tell you now, because I work on an intentional basis, I get up and I figure out what I'm going to do with my day. The feeling of completion in the evening, or the feeling of completion at the end of the day, is very fulfilling. So your path determines your potential. Full-time realtors fall into 4 categories. Are you a typical salesperson? Are you a thriving salesperson? Are you an entrepreneur or a thriving entrepreneur? But first, you must establish your approach. The typical salesperson stays in the comfort zone. They're very spontaneous and reactive, and they want easy and convenient sales, or easy and convenient clientele coming to them. Thriving seeks potential, is intentional and proactive, but their ability to get clientele or new business is challenging, but it's very rewarding because they make more income. Then you must determine your role. Are you a salesperson that focuses on the job? It's all about me. And I don't know why he says get rich. I don't know what that means, but it's all about you. You do the listing appointments, you do the buyer's consultations, you do the closings, you do all the paperwork. It's all about you, and there's no one else. Or do you want to be the entrepreneur? Do you want to focus on the business side of real estate? And do you want to learn to leverage other people's abilities in order to grow and compound your output? Okay, so get rich, I get it now, means you make money based on your efforts. Gets wealthy means you make money based on the efforts of others. I'm with you now. Choosing a career path. Everyone begins as a typical salesperson. Every single solitary person that enters the real estate world, because they're learning and they're trying to understand and grow their business, they have to begin as a typical salesperson. The next step of choosing a career path is a typical salesperson. You make choices. Am I going to be a thriving salesperson or a thriving entrepreneur? Or you can be a typical entrepreneur. There are steps to each of these processes that you can determine. This is where I want to go. This is how I want to grow. Success is a journey, not a destination. For each role that you choose, you have the opportunity to progress through 3 phases: comfort, mastery, and then freedom. Each phase is unique and requires you to establish and maintain specific productive behavioral habits before moving on to the next. During the journey, you have the opportunity to accumulate 3 1/3 components per phase. The goal in the sales game is to behaviorally internalize these components of each phase, then progress to the next one. So I'll break that gibberish down and make more sense here in just a second. The journey to abundance. So you start down here, you have commitment. I'm going to do this. I'm going to sell real estate. When you guys got your license, you said, I'm doing this. This is me. This is what I'm doing. I am a realtor. I've got to build my confidence in knowing what the heck I'm doing. I've got to be consistent about everything I'm doing. And then I have to endure the hardships. Every real estate business is like this. You go up, you're great, and then you tank. And then you go up and you're great, and then you tank. It's very rarely like this. If you've been able to keep your business steady like this, Trudy, am I right? Am I right? then you have been very, very good at time management and leveraging other people if you've been able to keep it like this. But most salespeople, because they're typical salespeople, they build and they call and they network and they recruit new clients and they call and they network. Oh, you're selling them houses. Now I've sold them houses. I've quit doing the networking, calling, and recruiting that got me here. And now that I've sold and closed all these houses, I come all the way back down and I have to start all over again. Networking, calling. It's like a roller coaster. It's exactly what it is. So I'm trying to teach you to build your confidence, be consistent, and endure what you have to do in order to keep it like this. Once you do this, you go from being effective to being efficient, and then system mastery, mastering scripts, mastery in processes, mastering in the conversations, mastering in the comparative market listing presentations, buyer presentations. It's all mastery of everything that encompasses what we do as realtors day to day. Then you flip if you choose to go this far. Some agents are like, nah, I'm happy as a salesman. Or a sales agent. I do not want to manage other people. I do not want to have anybody else to be responsible for. I'm just going to deal with me. If you decide to become an entrepreneur, you have to have this little thing called patience. Patience is definitely a something that you have to learn, because here you are taking the systems that you have mastered and you are starting to teach them to other people. A buyer's agent, a listing agent, a closing coordinator. You're starting to teach them your systems that you've built and that we've helped you build. You're starting to teach them to other people. So that's where your patience come in. Then you have to work on promoting. Then you have to get them proficient in your businesses, and then you develop them as people and you leverage them so you can go do, what did we say was the most important time for you to do as a realtor?
Writing contracts.
That's right. So you have your belief system, your systems, and your people, so you can go and sell houses. 10 steps to become fully leveraged. Is your current production by design or just coincidence? Maximum output is to analyze your operational model, analyze what you're doing today, where you want to go, what you want to do, and record all current career activities. This will take at least 2 weeks. He'll give us a sheet of paper at the end to show you kind of what that looks like. And distinguish between vital and irrelevant activities. This activity is vital to me being successful. This activity, like me cleaning out my purse at 10:30 when I got here this morning, was not vital. It was irrelevant to my day. It was a delay tactic is what it was. And then step 4, create 2 progressive vital activities checklists. Let me skip down to here really quick, because he has the vital listing activities. So if you're wondering, gosh, what is a vital listing activity? What the heck am I supposed to be doing? These are vital listing activities. He gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 sheets of vital listing activities. And what it all necessarily boils down to are these are the steps that I do in every single transaction. You can add to this or you can take away from this. Finding sellers. That's probably step number 1, simply because you don't have any listing activities if you don't have any sellers. So finding sellers for sell by owners, expired and terminated listings, traditional and social networks, just sold notifications, and farming. Well, what do you do with them once you get them? What do I do with this seller now that I've got this seller? You go through your lead conversion, ask pre-listing questions, assemble the pricing tools, confirm the appointment, prepare the listing, get on the listing channel, meaning get in the mindset of, before you walk into that listing, you get in the mindset of, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to get this listing. Arrive on time. Ooh, that's a big one. It's a big one for realtors. Have a listing conversation instead of a listing presentation. And here's all the steps. I'm not going to go through all of these because we have a listing 101 course that goes through all 47 of these listing activities. And you are welcome to sit in that class. I'm not sure when it is. Well, guess what? It's on the 26th. Listing 101 is on the 26th. So I couldn't have planned that any better. So we'll go through all of these in that course, and you will walk away with a complete understanding of the proper way to do a listing. But I'll go back up here to does anybody remember what number I was on? I was here, right? Yeah, create vital activities only checklist, one for sellers and one for buyers. I have another one for buyers as well. I'll go over that when we get back to the end. 10 steps to become fully leveraged. Note 5 through 10 are mandatory if you intend to ascend beyond the phase 1 status, and the phase 1 status is the salesperson. If you have the desire to grow into a team or build a team under you, after you have gained mastery and become the agent that can lead people and invest into others because you know your system so well, then you can do 1 or 5 through 10. Step 5, establish detailed step-by-step instructional procedures for each activity on the checklist. This can be created by a trainee if non-existent. So, like for instance, Trudy and me and Caitlin have sat down and talked about their team and what that's going to look like. And then I met with Caitlin right before she had her baby, and we had another conversation about the team and the build-up and how it's looking and what's going to happen or whatever. So if you're going to go beyond team, then you have to create the steps so that the team knows exactly what to do. There should be never any question. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Okay, we're done. Step 4, step 5, step 6. Okay, we're done. It goes to someone else. So the more systematic systems that you have, the less issues that you have. And number 2, let's talk about being a sales agent, just a sales agent. If you do the same exact process for every single client, if there is ever a legal issue that comes up and the client says, well, they didn't do this for me, and by you not doing that task, you would have created some sort of legal monkey on your back, then if you can go back and prove, here are my systems, I do this, every single client gets the exact same service, it not only keeps you treating everybody the same, it also gives you a backing if you ever need that, like in court or with a client that says you didn't do something. So hopefully we can do that as well. Before proceeding with steps 6 through 10, so 6 through 10 look like, well, I thought it was 6 through 10 on that sheet, but I guess not. Hold on. Oh, there they are. Okay. Sorry about that. Before proceeding to step 6, make sure you're as effective and efficient as you can be in your personal business. Make sure that you are very effective in the scripts, the listing appointments, the buyer consultations, everything you do as a realtor. Make sure that you are efficient, and you could do it in your sleep. Can proactively generate more business with the time created because of delegation. You have created a onslaught of business that you cannot handle if it's just you. So before you move into being the team leader, I know there's a lot of people who just want to build a team because it's the nice, cool, hip thing that's going on right now. Before you move into that position, make sure that the business that you're creating will withstand supplementing the team. So organizational model, minimum input. So this is where you would start becoming what he calls fully leveraged, which is building that team. And this is something that we'll go into a lot more. I don't think there's anyone on here except maybe Trudy that really is doing a team right now. And you've got to work at working it in the way that will build on the foundation. So you can't just get a real estate license and then hire a buyer's agent and go, okay, now we're going to go sell some houses, and not have any systems, not have any protocols, not have anything that you and that buyer's agent are on the same page. You need to build it just like a house. You've got the foundation, then you have the walls, then you have the floor, then you have the roof. You know, everything has to lay on top of the other, so that way if it shakes a little bit or if there's an issue, then you just go back to the systems and say, this is why we did it this way. Most teams dissolve or fall apart because there's not consistency, clarity, and systems. But we are not here to talk about teams. We're here to talk about time management. He just threw that one in there. The 5 tools of intent. A thriving business results from knowing the answers of these 5 important questions. Why do some real estate agents maximize their daily output? Why do you think they maximize their daily output? They maximize their daily output because they are working. If they know I'm going into this business, or I'm waking up today and I've only got from 10 to 2 to work on real estate, then from 10 to 2 I'm working on real estate. From 10 to 11 I'm making calls. From 11 to 12 I'm returning calls. From 12 to 1 I'm filling out contracts and doing admin work. And from 1 to 2 I'm cleaning up so I can leave for the day. Like, maximizing your daily output is very, very important. Thriving comes the result of knowing why you do what you do, what you're doing, how you do it, who does it, and when is it done. Why do you do what you do? When you wake up and you know that you're going to go sell real estate, why? Why do you do what you do? I wake up and I sell real estate because I was 18 when I had got my real estate license, 19. I was 17 when I had a daughter. And I knew that there was nothing else I could do at that moment that could generate enough income to help my family survive. And I knew if I started young, it would be easier when I got older. So that was my why. My why was just to feed my screaming little baby that was starving. Not starving, but you know what I mean. And what do you do? You get up in the morning, you make a to-do list of the day, you get up and you get ready. Your operational model defines how you will do it. How do you want to grow your business? How do you want to get leads? Do you want to buy Zillow? Do you want to build off your friends and family? Do you want to do open houses? Do you want to pass out flyers? Do you want to knock on doors? How are you going to do it? Identifies who will get it done. When you're an organization model of your singular sales associate, the who is you. The who, the responsibility is yours. And then activities management system, it identifies when it will be done. I'm going to make calls every Tuesday at 3:00. I'm going to make 15 recruiting calls. 15. That's what I used to do. Monday through Wednesday, I made 15 recruiting calls every single day, and I couldn't do anything else until I made those 15 recruiting calls. So it identifies when it will be done. Getting in the right block. Time management is an oxymoron. There's no such thing as time management because you can't manage or control time. It is what it is. 24 hours in a day, 168 hours in a week, so on and so on. You're not going to change time, and you're not getting any more or less of it. It passes second by second, regardless of what you did or did not do. Therefore, it's impossible to manage that time. You're managing your activities during that time, and you're implementing your allotted goals for that block of time. It is crucial that you create a time budget by defining the number of hours a day you're dedicating to your career. And once that's established, you allocate each day's worth of time to the 4 key categories. This approach keeps you on the right side of momentum and greatly supports you in your effort to be proactive. So what are the 4 key activities in real estate? They're all the same for everybody. They don't change based on who you are or how long you've been in the business. All of your time should be blocked into these: lead generation, lead conversion, client care, and personal development. There's nothing else. Those 4 should be blocked on your calendar to where if you are out showing houses, that's client care. If you are meeting new buyers, that's lead conversion. If you are lead generation, that's follow up with OpCity, Zillow, past clients, client referrals. It's follow up. Personal development is what you're doing right now, and training and consulting with if you have a coach, and then mastermind groups. These are the only 4 categories there are in real estate. No more, no less. So taking control of your activities. Most people get ahead during the time others waste. What I am so proud of you is because this slide embodies every single thing that our office did during the COVID pandemic where the world was shut down. I am so stinking impressed with how much our realtors kept pushing and kept pushing and kept pushing. No matter what was going on around them, they put their head down and they pushed forward and said, let's do this. We have had we never stopped. Just so you guys know, the office never stopped. I am so impressed. So most people get ahead during time others waste. We said, oh, downtime, you say, nope, let's go. And other people were just scared and not moving and looking around going, oh shoot, what do we do now? We're like, we're selling houses, boy, back up. We're selling, we can figure this out. People still got to move. People still got to live. People still got to eat. People still need to go from here to here. But what I will say is we were very blessed, even though the governor's not my favorite person, but that's okay. That's neither here nor there. We were blessed that he made our business essential. Like in Pennsylvania, in Michigan, realtors were deemed non-essential and they weren't allowed to show houses. Pennsylvania still can't show houses. So we've proven that we can do it. But anyway, so staying intentional and proactive is the ultimate key to your success. November, December, January. Those months are the months that people go, oh, it's the holidays. I'm going to go to all these parties and nobody's really working and I'm not going to sell any houses. Nope. That's when you push forward, because you are working October, November, December to make sure you have a good January, February, March. Everything realtors do, they do 3 months behind. So if I'm working really hard today, I'm probably going to see the results of my effort I put in today. I'm probably going to see that in 45 to 60 days, because that's how real estate works. The timeline for real estate is the 30 to 45 to 60 day closings. The best way to break unproductive role habits and become vital on a daily basis is to account for every hour invested in your career. As you learned, wasting 1 hour a day can be disastrous. To help, you should incorporate an activities management system. So here's an example of a proactive day. 5 a.m. Who gets up at 5 a.m.? I do, but 8 o'clock, lead generation, all the way to 9:30. He didn't put this here simply to throw something on the paper. He put this here because the best time to lead generate is when people are in their car going to and from work. So from 8 to 9:30, perfect lead generation time. You'll see it here again. No, he didn't do it. It's between like 3 and like 5:30 or 6 as they're leaving work and heading home. Those are the best opportunities to get on the phone with people, because they're just driving in their car. They're more likely to answer their phone. The CC is client care. So from 10 to 11:30, he's like, I'm going to deal with my clients. I'm going to answer all their calls. I'm going to return all their calls. I'm going to follow up on all the paperwork, check on the inspection reports, all that. I'm going to do that within this time. One thing that Adam Contos, our CEO of RE/MAX, has done that's actually quite interesting is that you will email him or you will call him, and his voicemail will say, hi, this is Adam Contos. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. I answer calls between blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah every day. If this is before or after that time, please know that I will answer your call on da, 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 da. And he will give you an expectation of when to expect him to call you back in that time frame. That does one of two things. One, it sets expectations so you can't be mad if he doesn't answer the phone or call you back. He told you he was only going to call you back between 4 and 5:30 every day. Two, it makes you look for his call between 4 and 5:30 every day. So you know at that time I need to try to be available because that's when he's going to call me. It's very much control of his daily activities. So that's really good on that. Let's see. Implementing the activities management system, he loves abbreviations, begins by establishing specific time parameters, which I just showed you, meaning you must define the length of time you're willing to invest in your business each week. And then the taking control of your activities, career activity management system procedures, steps to follow. Define how many hours you want to work a week. If you don't care and you want to work 60 hours a week, then put 60 hours a week. Define the total career hours for every single day. How many hours a day am I going to invest into intentional, proactive work? Identify vital blocks: listing generation, listing conversion, client care, and then personal development. Record the initial specific vital activity and stay engaged. If you have your calendar and you don't stay engaged within that hour and block it out and say, for this hour, I am doing this task, then it's pointless. Refer to vital activities checklist as needed. So if you're in the lead generation and you've lead generated your heart out and you've still got 20 minutes, go back to the checklist and say, okay, are any of these lead generation activities here that I haven't done? So you can remind yourself of other things you can do. Assess progression at day's end. Reflect, revise, and release. Reflect on what you've done, revise it for the next day if it didn't work, and then move on. Don't waller in it like I did all day Saturday. It's my new favorite word, wallering. I didn't even know it was a real word. And repeat steps 2 through 7 every single day. So my favorite thing to do at night on the couch while my husband watches TV and I'm like in La La Land is to sit down and think of everything I got accomplished that day. Because if I haven't completed anything, like Saturday, I feel like a total moose head and have not had any feeling of completion. And I'm like, ugh. So that's why I had to get up this morning and say, fix your hair. Okay, next. Brush those teeth. Nobody wants stinky breath. You know, just getting things done. Taking control of your activities. The mistake most people make, whoopsie, in attempting to manage time and not activities. So you know I have 1 hour on Mondays that I'm doing personal development. 1 hour every Monday, personal development. Mark it down in your calendar, and then you'll know every other Monday you're with me. And then every other Monday, you can read a book about personal development, which, shameless plug, we now have a library in the Lexington office. Anybody can come and check out a book. On the bottom row, it's a little bit about Jesus. On the second row, it's like self-help. On the third row, it's professional self-help, like time management. You know, I think there's one in there that says how to work with people you hate. That's one of the books. And then, because, you know, face it, we don't love all of our clients. I mean, let's be real. And then the one above that is murder mystery. Got to have some scary books. And then the one above that is like statistical stuff. I'm a nerd, so I like stats. So take a book every Monday, spend an hour reading it, because those self-help books, if you read them too fast, they really don't help. You got to like chew on them for a while. The goal is to maximize your output by making 100% of your workday vital. This is very touchy. Based on your personal and family time requirements, what does your work schedule need to look like? You don't live to work. You work to live. So you base your work schedule around your family's needs for you. And if you're very proactive in everything you do, you can turn a 10 to 12 hour work day where you're wasting time into a 6 to 8 hour normal day. So you can turn it off and you can go do with your family. And here is the example that we went over. Focus is the key to success. Once in a specific block, stay there and focus on the activity associated. As activities appear during the day, they must be evaluated against your activities list and either ignored or delegated to the appropriate block. So if you have someone call and they're like, oh my gosh, the inspection went horrible, blah, 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 blah. You can, instead of being reactive and go, okay, let's talk about the inspection right now. What happened? Da, 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 da. You can listen to them, or you can just not answer the call because you're in the middle of doing something else. And you can say, okay, so let me review this, and I'm going to call you back between 12 and 1:30. Is that a good time for you? Then you call them back in your time management block in which you are doing the client care. If they know what to expect, you set their expectations, then they won't be mad. Focus on the right activities. It's worthless unless you're implementing the right activity. Saying yes to an activity involves saying no to others. As long as you are breathing, you are doing something. So the key question becomes, are you doing the right thing? If you've set up your blocks, are you doing what is in your block? What is your maximum output potential? You won't know for sure until you fully account for each hour. If you feel overwhelmed or not as productive as you can be, you should fully account for your time. I've done this before, and I was shocked at how much time I scrolled on Facebook. I was shocked at how much time, well, recently, I'm sure I wouldn't want to know this, I was on TikTok. I was shocked at how much time I wasted cleaning out my purse. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you don't even realize time flies. That saying, I was thinking about that. I was like, oh my gosh, time absolutely flies. I've had 2 kids that have gotten married. One gets married in a week and the other one got married in May. I'm sitting here thinking, I remember when Summer came home from the hospital and I was changing her diaper. Where did 20 years go? Where did 20 years go? Like, how did this even happen? So in a smaller accounting of time, where did that hour go? I mean, there is a reason why Facebook can suck you in. They're built to do that. But where did that hour of time go? Could you have spent that time cuddling with your dog on the couch? Could you have spent that time, you know, making dinner with your spouse? Whatever it might be, could you have spent that time doing something more productive? Focusing on the right activities, operating from a vital activities checklist is the only way to ensure you remain focused on the right activities. And remember, your yearly output is a result of your quarterly output, which is a direct result of your monthly, which is a result of your weekly, which is a result of your daily, and which is a result of your hourly. To ensure your maximum output, you must manage vital activities within hourly time blocks. Time blocking with vital activities ensures an uninterrupted flow, which allows you to maintain positive momentum throughout the day. Bottom line, effective time blocking always results in a proactive day. So here are those 47 lists again. He emailed you all these, so you guys do have these. Some of them may not make a lot of sense, but like I said, in Listing 101 next week, we will go over these. If you want to come to that class, I hope you do. And then again, there's 47 buyer activities. So you not only have let's see, summary. Whoopsie, 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 whoopsie. Thank you. Hold on, we got this one. I'm trying to put you guys where. So your potential, we have to start here. I hate that he abbreviates stuff. Management system, activities management system, and your vital activities checklist. Be intentional. You have your potential. You have what can be your maximum output. In order to achieve that, you have to be effective and efficient, and you have to be intentional and proactive, and you have to have an AMS and a vital activities checklist. So you can take this from the top to bottom, or you can say, in order to get to my potential, I have to build on these things. These are very, very important. And these are definitely some things we'll dig into at your goal setting appointment. Catherine, I think this is the perfect opportunity for you to set goals for next year and to build this. Trudy, I can meet with you alone or you and Caitlin together, maybe separate and then together. That's totally okay. And Miss Dillon over there, of course, anytime I can meet with you and help you figure out where you want to be at the end of 2021. The funny part about it was when we did these goal setting activities at the end of 2019 for 2020, I keep them all. So I can go and look and see which agents are hitting their goals and which ones have missed them or have not achieved them yet, or which ones have surpassed them. And it is so fun to go and look and see, okay, this agent, you know, like Dave and Corey, the Grifford team, Dave and Corey, they've hit their goal and we're just in October. And 2 months ago, they were like, oh my God, we're not even close. And they put the pedal to the metal and they did the work and they focused. Now they've hit their goal and they're like, hey, it's just October. Now everything else is cake. If you don't have goals and you don't know when you've hit that goal, you don't have that time to celebrate. So goal setting is hugely important. We do vision boards. After we do goal setting, we sit down as a group. I'm going to get us all together to do these. We do vision boards for the whole next year. It's a ton of fun. I love it because I have like the last 5 years of vision boards that we've done, and I've literally been able to go and mark off all the things that I wanted to see done. And it's rewarding. It's just so rewarding. So Does anybody have any questions about time management? Thank you. Do you have any questions about time management, or do you have any ahas? Paul, did you learn anything?
I learned lots. But going back to I'm really excited about the goal planning because there's one, and I was calling different people whenever they were hitting certain goals, but one that just really stood out to me is Tyann. Because we were down with her in November. She had finished the year like at, 2.8 million. And she was like, I want to hit 4 million for 2020. And in June, I looked, she had hit over 5 million. She was halfway through the year.
Yeah.
And it hit, and I was just like, holy smokes. I called, I was so excited. And she just couldn't believe. But going back to what you said, whenever COVID hit, she was putting in that work in March, April, and May, whenever some people were shutting down. And then, come May, June, and July, she was just so busy.
Yeah, she was off to the races for sure. So October, November, December, just because there's holidays coming and just because it's kind of a slower time of the year, people still sell real estate, people still move. You can get ahead of others by staying focused October, November, and December. And to help you guys stay focused, we're trying to find a good speaker to come in and talk to us maybe in the end of November, beginning of December. So we're still working on that, but it's going to be a great fourth quarter. Are we already 1 month into the fourth quarter? October?
Yep, we're 4 days into the fourth quarter.
Oh, we'll see.
Or 5 days.
So we're definitely going to have a good fourth quarter, and hopefully you have a takeaway from this time management. If you have one and you want to say what it is, I'd love to hear it.
Kristy, for me, it's having the systems in place so that not only are you time blocking, but like I feel like sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, crap, I've got to do that. Oh yeah, wait, am I doing that or is Caitlin doing that? Or, I'm like, there's just so much, we're just kind of reactive a lot right now.
Yeah.
And I think we need to get a lot better at being proactive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge thing for me, getting some systems in place so that we can be a little more proactive.
Yeah. And it'll make you feel less anxious. Like, is this supposed to be done? Am I supposed to do it? Is she supposed to? Like, the anxiety goes away. Yeah. Clarity is huge. How about you, Catherine or Kimberly? Did either one of you pick an aha?
I just really like the one where you get up and you start the day with an activity, because I've done that before. If I don't get up right or I just sit in bed or something, I'm unproductive that day. But like getting up and starting with something like brushing your teeth and like going on to the next thing, like keeping it going. I like that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I heard somebody that in the military, this, Catherine, maybe wake up, first thing you do is you make your phone.
She already knew before you said it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a bed to make right now, so quit throwing shade. No, I'm kidding. I have a couch to make.
My furniture doesn't come in until December. We ordered it, so
you know the feeling, right? Yeah. You know the feeling. Yeah, getting one thing done in the morning is huge. How about you, Kimberly?
I personally think that this was such an important meeting to hear. You actually restart my batteries. Every time I hear you talk, it makes me want to restart my batteries and do better. And you're right, 100%. I can't tell you how many days I have thought putting off getting ready, and then I get so busy and I look horrible. You're right. You have to get ready first thing in the morning. That way, the rest of your day, you're ready to do whatever. It's not very professional to not look put together. And I don't want to go out looking bad. So I definitely have got a lot of great ideas from this meeting, and I appreciate you so much.
Good. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you guys so much. So next next course is actually on the 26th, so mark it in your calendar. The reason for that, it would normally be on the 19th, but my daughter gets married on the 17th, and I don't know what kind of hole I'm going to be digging out of on the 19th, so I want to make sure that I pre-plan and I'm not reactive, that I put it on the 26th. But I do plan on being in Richmond on the 12th and the 19th for you, Catherine, and maybe Trudy, if you want to meet me there. For goal setting meetings, and then you too, Kimberly, and then Lexington on the 16th and the 30th. So I will shoot those out hopefully later today. Sign up as quick as you can because they go fast. If you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. Catherine, get with your mentor. I'm sure you guys have a lot to talk about.
We're meeting on Wednesday, actually. We've got that set up. And then tomorrow I'm meeting with Kim. Are you sending those out via email, the goal setting?
I'll do a link on Facebook, and I'll do a link in a text message.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so look for the link, and then it's called Sign Up Genius. You just sign in and put your name in, and it should be pretty easy.
Cool.
Fantastic. Well, if you guys don't need anything else, you have a wonderful Monday. Yes, because today's Monday. And if you need anything at all, please call me. I'm here. Call us too.
Thanks.
Thanks. See ya.
Bye.